Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GCP De Silva, and like I said in my last commentary, I was going to share some of my work stories or experiences with you all, so I'm just going to name and title these videos from now on Work Stories with GCP. And you know what, before I get started talking about what exactly happened for this very first video of the series, I'm going to give you guys a little background into what I do. I'm in college right now, and this is just a college job, so this is not my career by any means. This is just how I make money on the side while I'm going to school. So what I do, let me give you guys a background of exactly what goes on during my job, what are the tasks involved with my line of work. Basically, let's say this. My work starts at 3 in the morning, right? So first of all, I do draw blood in the hospital, and my shift, the morning shift at my hospital, my job is at 3 o'clock till 11:30 a.m. The 11:30 is nice because at least the rest of the day you have to yourself to do whatever it is you need, but that comes at a cost because you do have to go to bed a little bit earlier than most people. Even though I don't, I still go to bed at the exact same time. That is at the cost of some sleep and a couple of hours of needed rest. But you know what? I'm young, so I'm going to live it up for right now. But for the most part, you know, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. My job is about 30 minutes away from where I actually live. So I wake up at 2 in the morning, and imagine just waking up that early in the morning to go to work. I mean, getting up that early isn't a cup of tea for anyone. I can't even imagine how anyone would feel waking up that early with that needed amount of rest, because, you know, people say, or research has found, or whatever you guys want to say, scientists or whatever the source is, I've heard it everywhere, but the key to sleep, the hours that are key to your recovery and you get the deep sleep or REM sleep, is from 1 to 2 a.m. So when you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're kind of missing out on that. But that's besides the point. So I'm missing out on sleep. That's the basic point of that. But waking up that early, I go, it takes me about 30 minutes to get to work. So around 2:30 I leave my house and I arrive at work at 3. So what I do at work once I get there is I stock my cart, and we all have a cart where we keep our, you know, supplies for drawing blood and all the supplies that we house our blood samples inside of once we draw them from the patients, right? So once we do that, that takes about like 10-20 minutes or so to get set up, and then we go out on the floors. Each of us is assigned to a floor for that day, and of course it switches up time to time and day to day. So we're not always on the same floor and not dealing with the exact same patients. But for the case, or for the record, this was my second week last year when I first started my job, my second week into the job, and there was a patient that I had to deal with. First of all, it was really intimidating because everybody knew that he was crazy, and a lot of the people who I was working with at the time knew that, and I had to go and draw him regardless, right? Regardless if I'm 2 weeks into the job. So I get there, this man, he's a little older, I don't know, I'd say about late 60s, early 70s, and he's in a 4-point restraints, meaning he has cuffs around him because he's a little aggressive. He gets a little violent and he moves around. So I get there, I kindly ask him, "Sir, I'm from the laboratory. I'm gonna be drawing your blood and whatever," and he, you know, basically cusses me out and says, "Hell no, you're not gonna draw my blood. Nobody's gonna draw my blood. Don't touch me," this and that. So I can't force a blood draw upon a patient, but the nurses were saying that they really, really needed the blood, and the doctor said that he needs the blood as well. So, you know, I have to draw his blood. So what had happened is I had to get nurses to come around and hold this patient. It took three nurses, excuse me, to hold this guy down. I go in with my needle to draw some blood, and guess what? He moves and the needle comes out. There's a lot of blood there, and it's a crazy scene. Yeah, it's pretty freaking crazy. So I am so astonished. My second week into the job, I'm just a little nervous, a little anxious as to what is going to happen. Do I have to go again? Are they going to give me a break and have somebody else come and try? But no, they just said go ahead and try again. And I just wanted the nurses to really hunker down or anchor this man's limbs down because I did not want him to move. So it took, again, those 3 nurses, and they brought in a 4th nurse in to hold him down as well. And this time I was able to go in with my needle and was able to get the blood sample that we needed. So I mean, this was freaking crazy. One of the craziest stories. My second week into the job or onto the job, and I have to deal with a crazy patient like this. And there are many more stories like this, but this is just the first experience that I had my second week on the job with drawing blood. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys were entertained by it, and I will see you guys on the next one. This is GCP De Silva, and I am signing off.